Grok was the best hunter in his tribe. Every morning he'd wake up before sunrise, grab his spear, and bring back twice the meat he used to catch 3 winters ago. And every night he'd sit by his fire and count his stored meat. And somehow the pile kept getting smaller. His father, who hunted half as much, used to have meat that lasted 4 winters. Grok could barely make it through 2. And the strangest part is Grok kept telling himself he was doing well because he had a bigger cave now, better furs, a newer spear. But the meat stores, the only thing that actually mattered when winter came, kept shrinking. Here's what nobody told Grok, and what nobody's telling you. The system isn't designed to let you store meat. It's designed to keep you hunting. So let me explain how this works using the simplest model possible. And I'm going to keep coming back to this, so pay attention. In the cave world, there are only 4 things that matter: how much meat you hunt, how much meat you store, how much meat you owe, and how many winters you can survive without hunting. That's it. Everything else is just noise to distract you from these 4 numbers. When you're young and weak, you hunt small animals, maybe 3 rabbits a day. You eat 2, you store 1. Simple. Your cave is small, your obligations are small, your meat stores grow slowly, but they grow. But then something happens. You get better at hunting. You can take down a deer now, 10 times the meat of a rabbit. And this is where the trap activates. The day you bring back your first deer, the tribe notices, and the chief walks over and says, "Congratulations, you're now a skilled hunter," which sounds like an honor. But here's what he's really saying. You now owe the chief 3 portions instead of 1. You now need to contribute to the shaman's supplies. You now need to help feed the elder hunters who can't hunt anymore. And you think, fine, I'm hunting 10 times more meat, I can handle bigger obligations. But you're not thinking about what happens next. Because the same day the chief upgrades your obligations, your mind does something automatic. You look at your small cave and you think, I'm a skilled hunter now. I shouldn't be living like this. So you move to a bigger cave. Bigger cave means it's colder, needs more fire, burns more wood. Wood collection takes time you used to spend hunting. And the bigger cave is further from the hunting grounds, so each hunt takes longer. You're still bringing back the same deer, but now it costs you more time and more resources to do it. Your net meat stored per day just went down, but you don't notice because you're focused on the size of the cave. And then it gets worse. You meet a partner, which is good, right? 2 hunters are better than 1, except now you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding 2. Then you have kids. Now you're feeding 4, and the kids can't hunt yet. They're pure consumption for 15 years. Your obligations just quadrupled, but your hunting ability stayed the same. You're hunting the same deer you were hunting before, but now, instead of storing half the meat, you're storing nothing. You're running neutral. Every piece of meat you hunt gets consumed that same day, but you tell yourself this is fine because you're living in a big cave with a family and you have status in the tribe. You're not measuring your success by meat stores anymore. You're measuring it by the size of your cave and the respect in the chief's eyes. This is the psychological shift that traps you. You stopped measuring what matters and started measuring what's visible. Now, let me show you what the tribe is actually doing here, because this isn't an accident. The chief doesn't want you to have 3 winters of stored meat. You know why? Because a hunter with 3 winters of stored meat can say no. He can refuse a bad hunt. He can challenge the chief's decisions. He can leave the tribe if he wants. A hunter with no stored meat has to say yes to everything. He needs tomorrow's hunt to feed his family tonight. He's controllable, he's predictable, he's trapped. So the tribe has invented this beautiful system. Every time you get better at hunting, they increase your obligations at exactly the same rate. You hunt twice as much, your required contributions double. You hunt 5 times as much, your cave costs 5 times as much. The gap between what you hunt and what you store stays exactly the same, usually 0. And here's where it gets really interesting. The best hunters in the tribe, the ones bringing back 2 deer a day, often have less stored meat than the mediocre hunters bringing back 4 rabbits. Because the 2 deer hunter has a massive cave, 3 kids, owes huge portions to the chief, supports 2 elders, and needs premium furs for status. The 4 rabbit hunter lives in a small cave, has no kids yet, owes minimum portions, and needs basic furs. The 4 rabbit hunter can store 1 rabbit a day. That's 25% of his hunt going to storage. The 2 deer hunter stores nothing. 0%. Let me give you specific numbers so this lands. Meet Thok. Thok is a master hunter. He brings back 2 deer every 3 days. Each deer feeds 10 people for 1 day. So Thok produces 20 portions every 3 days, about 7 portions per day. In the tribe, that puts him in the top 10% of hunters. He should be rich in stored meat. He's not. Here's where it goes. Chief's tax takes 2 portions per day. That's mandatory. His big cave, the one he upgraded to when he became a master hunter, costs 1 portion per day in maintenance. Fire, wood. His family of 4 eats 2 portions per day. His status obligations, helping the shaman, feeding 1 elder, contributing to tribe ceremonies, that's another 1.5 portions per day. His better hunting equipment, the premium spear, the special furs for cold hunts, depreciates at about half a portion per day. Add that up, 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1.5 plus 0.5, that's 7 portions per day. Thok hunts 7 portions per day, spends 7 portions per day, stores 0. He is living hunt to hunt despite being one of the best hunters in the tribe. If Thok gets injured and can't hunt for 3 days, his family starves. He has 0 winters of reserves. He is 1 bad hunt away from catastrophe at all times. Now compare that to Brog. Brog is average. He hunts 4 rabbits a day. Each rabbit feeds 1 person for 1 day. 4 portions per day. Chief's tax takes half a portion. His small cave costs almost nothing. His family of 2 eats 1.5 portions. No status obligations because he's not a master hunter. Basic equipment that barely depreciates. Total cost, 2.25 portions per day. Brog stores 1.75 portions per day. That's almost 44% of his hunt. In 2 winters, Brog will have more stored meat than Thok, despite hunting half as much. This is the part that breaks people's brains. Thok makes 350 portions per winter. Brog makes 200 portions per winter. But Brog is building wealth and Thok is trapped. Because wealth isn't how much you hunt. Wealth is how much you keep. But you might be thinking, okay, so why doesn't Thok just hunt more? If he's that good, he could bring back 3 deer every 3 days instead of 2. And this is where the trap becomes inescapable. Because Thok is already hunting at his physical limit. He hunts from sunrise to sunset. He's optimized his routes. He's using the best techniques. There are only so many hours of daylight and only so much energy in a human body. He cannot hunt more. His production is capped. But his obligations are not capped. The tribe will always find new ways to extract his production. The chief introduces a new ceremony that requires contributions. The shaman needs a new hut. Another elder retires. Thok's cave needs repairs. His kids need better furs for status. Every single winter, his obligations creep up. And every single winter, the gap between what he hunts and what he stores gets smaller. He's on a treadmill that only goes one direction. Now here's the cruelest part. The tribe celebrates Thok. They honor him at gatherings. They point to him as a success story. They tell young hunters, be like Thok, hunt like Thok, live like Thok, and Thok believes it. He thinks he's winning because everyone says he's winning. He has all the visible markers of success. Big cave, respect, status, family. What he doesn't have is freedom. And freedom is the only thing that actually matters. Let me show you what freedom looks like in cave terms. A hunter with 3 winters of stored meat can do something revolutionary. He can say no to a bad hunt. The chief says, we need you to hunt the dangerous northern grounds where the predators are. The free hunter says, no, I'll sit this one out, because he has 3 winters of meat. He doesn't need tomorrow's hunt. He has options. A hunter with 0 winters of stored meat hears the same command and he has to say yes, because if he says no, the chief cuts him off from tribe support. And without tribe support and without stored meat, he's dead in 1 winter. This is what the tribe is actually selling you. They're not selling you success. They're selling you dependence dressed up as success. Every upgrade they offer you, bigger cave, better furs, higher status, comes with higher obligations that lock you deeper into the system. And the genius is you feel like you're choosing it. Nobody forced Thok to move to the big cave. He wanted it. Nobody forced him to have 3 kids. He chose it. The tribe just made sure that every choice that felt like progress was actually a tighter chain. I want you to think about the hunters you know. How many of them could survive 3 winters without hunting? Be honest. If your answer is almost none, then you understand that your entire tribe is one bad winter away from collapse. And you're all pretending this is normal. You're all calling this security. But security means you can survive a crisis. If everyone drops dead the moment the hunting stops, that's not security. That's a mass delusion with good marketing. So what do you actually do about this? Because I'm not going to tell you to go live in a small cave and hunt rabbits forever. That's not realistic and it's not the point. The point is to understand the system so you can manipulate it instead of letting it manipulate you. First thing, meat stored is the only number that matters. Not meat hunted per day, not the size of your cave, not your status in the tribe. Meat stored, that's your freedom number. Every decision you make should be evaluated by one question. Does this increase my meat stores or decrease them? If it decreases them, you need a really good reason to do it. Most of the time, you don't have one. You just want it because the tribe says successful hunters have it. Second thing, your obligations will always try to match your hunting ability. This is automatic. This is tribal physics. The only way to beat it is to artificially cap your obligations below your hunting ability and defend that gap violently. When you start hunting better, don't upgrade your cave. Keep the small cave. Bank the difference. When the chief tries to increase your required contributions, negotiate. Push back. You have more leverage than you think because you're a good hunter and the tribe needs you. But you only have leverage if you have stored meat. Without stored meat, you have nothing. Third thing, build 3 winters of reserves before you do anything else. 3 winters. Not 3 days, not 3 weeks. 3 winters. This is the threshold where the psychology shifts. With 3 winters stored, you stop being afraid. You can take risks. You can start your own hunting operation. You can leave a bad tribe. You can invest time in learning new hunting techniques without starving. 3 winters of stored meat is the difference between being a tribe slave and being a free hunter who happens to work with a tribe. And look, most hunters never build 3 winters of reserves. You know why? Because it requires delaying gratification in a way that feels socially painful. Your hunting peers are upgrading to big caves and you're still in your small cave banking meat. They think you're failing. Their respect drops, your status drops. It feels bad. But status is a trick the tribe uses to keep you hunting. Status costs meat. Freedom costs stored meat. You cannot buy both. You have to pick. So here's the reality. The salary trap in cave terms is simple. The tribe needs you to hunt every day until you're too old to hunt. If you store enough meat to stop hunting early, the tribe loses your production. So the tribe has built 1,000 invisible mechanisms to make sure you never store enough. Bigger caves for better hunters. Status obligations that scale with skill. Social pressure to consume instead of store. Ceremonies that extract contributions. It all serves one function: keep you hunting. And the dark part? You'll do this to yourself. The tribe won't force you. They'll just make the big cave available and let your psychology do the rest. They'll just create the status hierarchy and let you chase it. They'll just normalize living hunt to hunt and you'll assume that's how it has to be. But it doesn't. You can see the system. You can measure your meat stores. You can cap your obligations. You can build 3 winters of reserves. And you can become free. The hunters who escape aren't smarter than you. They aren't luckier. They just saw that the big cave was a trap and decided that freedom mattered more than the chief's approval. Nature doesn't care about your cave size. Winter comes for everyone the same. And when it comes, the only thing that matters is how much meat you stored when the hunting was good. The tribe will not save you. The chief will not save you. Your status will not save you. Only stored meat saves you. The fire always goes out eventually. Make sure you have enough meat to last until spring.